All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. I'm going to quickly link, like every influencer out there, my Amazon wish list full of all my protons, creatine, fish oil. So, if anyone feels like buying Coach a gift, there you go. All right, so over to the topic. I'm going to cover this topic, then I will take your lovely questions and answers. Vegan and carnivore. And the reason I bring this up is these two groups seem to flood my stuff, all my social media feed nonstop. And they're both so defensive. You know, the funny thing is these two groups, they act like they're opposites, but they are literally the exact same. They're the same diet, same mindset, same ideology for the most part. They're literally identical in their strategies, their tactics, their beliefs. The only thing is one group picks animal stuff, the other picks plant stuff. And I've noticed that their level of militancy is often the same. Their tactics are the same. And they both have really ludicrous ideas on health that are complete ideology, that are not based on reality. And the reason I say that is because vegans generally view, unless they're purely the ethical vegan and they admit there's problems with the diet sometimes, that they view that animal products are the cause of all human health problems and all of our diet problems, okay? The carnivore group view that plants and things that came from plants are the cause of all of our health problems, up to, and that includes then even refined sugars, vegetable oils, and all that. But, you know, at the most extreme end, and I'll get to y'all's questions in a minute. Ruby, I'm not going to answer that question. This is a fitness-related channel, if we could stick to fitness content. So if you will please remove that, it would be appreciated. All right, so back over to the topic before I get to your questions. No, Benji, the carnivores are actually way more militant in my experience. They're actually more militant than many vegans, at least what I'm observing on, say, Facebook, for example. On Facebook, they're more militant and aggressive. They literally take over every group and come at you for being pro-plant. Like for eating vegetables, they literally insult you. In fact, I have multiple of them making videos and tagging me in them on here about how I'm wrong about plants and I don't know science. Like they're literally tagging me in their carnivore videos on YouTube of how I'm a complete idiot because I believe that plants and fiber are healthy. So they're very aggressive. Like they literally are insulting and attack people for believing in vegetables. So they're extremely militant. So you can't say they're not as militant as vegans. They're equally. But, you know, that's kind of the problem. None of them step back and realize, hey, maybe it's a bunch of refined garbage that's our problems with our diets. Right? Ruby, that's a good question to ask me on my Facebook stuff, though. I'll get into non-fitness stuff more on Facebook. YouTube, I want to keep this fitness, by the way. All right. So, but back over to that point, none of them seem to, they don't grasp that it's refined garbage that is generally the problem. And not even all refined foods are the problem. Okay. I mean, it's literally a case of excessive refined sugars. To some extent, other refined carbohydrates, refined vegetable oils. Okay, so the carnivores get that part right, but they're completely clueless. Fruits and vegetables are enormously healthy and actually absolutely required for optimal health. They're not even optional. The vegans cannot seem to grasp the fact that all these plant things are part of the problem, but they do get the part right that things like refined red meats, butter, garbage like that is a problem. Like butter is horrific, and the data supports that. The dairy itself is phenomenal. The carnivores can't grasp the fact that butter is a problem. It completely goes over their head. I don't have a shop, Spider. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any shop. Oh, that's from Teespring is owned by YouTube, dude. Right? Like I have no control. I have no direct thing there. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute, Spider. You have to research that. No, Teespring is you have to contact Teespring. Teespring is a YouTube partner that does shirts for YouTubers. Like if you have a partnership, right? If you have a partnership with them, certain types, they give you an agreement and say, hey, we run our shop, we make shirts for YouTube, we make shirts for YouTubers. If you put up your designs, we will give you a cut of the profit. So I actually don't even have a direct liaison there. I mean, I could email them, but they don't give me your shipping info. So because it's a company that's a YouTube partner that partners with us, and they basically give us 50% of the profits, right? So they won't even give me your shipping info because that's your private details with them. Even if I were to ask and say, hey, this person named Spider ordered stuff, I don't even have permission to see who your name or your shipping details, because they make shirts for us and handle the whole business. And we simply link it and then we get 50% of the profits. So that's the way their partnership works. So I don't have really any control, right? Does that make sense? So they do this for most YouTube partners who are tiered partners. It's a service they offered us automatically through YouTube, and YouTube is a business partner with them, right? Okay. Well, let's get over to some of these other questions, but they're equally dogmatic. Absolutely. Limitless says, good morning, coach. Good morning to you. Yeah, no, I disagree. Carnivores absolutely attack people who eat plants. The militant ones absolutely will insult you, come at you, everything else. All right. Coach, does a carnivore diet actually turn your blood into butter? That's biologically impossible. Okay. All right. There is no biological pathway by which butter, which is emulsified dairy fat, can be made out of human blood. There's no pathway by which this can occur. But do carnivores have considerable segments of their group? They seem to be that nutty. No, some of them, yeah, no, I've actually seen some of them pretend like you are a bad person if you eat plants. Like it's that you're harming people if you're even promoting eating plants. Some of them are that nutty. They're literally the same level as the militant vegans. I don't see a difference between the two groups personally. Yeah, dude, you should see the craziness I see. Maybe get on Facebook. Man, no, dude, they're equally dogmatic. Bigger and Stronger says, I get labeled a narcissist by my family because I enjoy talking about my physique and gains. I like telling people what's going on in my life and fitness is my passion. What should I do? Why are you worried about it? I mean, I don't know if you're a narcissist or not. I have no way to know, right? So I don't know what to tell you, dude. Sorry. But here's the other thing. This is not my specialty. I don't know how to help you with your family life. And I have no idea if you're a narcissist or not, but just being into fitness is obviously does not make you a narcissist, right? Everyone should be into fitness. And if you truly believe you were better than everyone else, you wouldn't think everyone should be into fitness, right? I want everybody to win. All right. I want everybody to be fit and healthy. I think everyone should be strong and fit and have abs and be healthy and jacked. And I think it would just be, the world would be a better place if everyone got fit. Everybody, every human being, right? Who is physically able. Actually, even those who aren't physically able, I wish that they could. Spider says, sorry if I have a dumb question. How come when you buy a single serving of Greek yogurt, it's 100 calories, a big tub is the same calories? I don't understand what you're asking. I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're reading on the label like that. Okay. Benji says, in that case, and they're insane, which is exactly my point. People who tend to get pulled into either diet tend to be mentally unhinged. William says, find people who have similar interests, not even encouraged about gains. And that's true, William, but he's talking about his family. right? Benji says it's weird how carnivores often hate foods medically proven to be healthy, and that's their point. They argue that the science is even bad. Is their argument. It's rather ludicrous. Also, if you guys could click some likes, man, I've got all these regulars commenting and nobody even click a single like. Come on, guys. Do you like the Larson press? Is it really superior for hypertrophy? I think the Larson press is a good exercise, actually. Do I think it's superior for hypertrophy? I'm going to say no. I don't think it's superior for hypertrophy. Do I think it's a good exercise? Can it have a place in your training, even for hypertrophy training? Yeah, no, I think it's a good, it can be a good supplemental lift for your bench. I think it can be a very good hypertrophy exercise. I really like the bench though. Let's see. All right. But Benji, you can't say we could say it's weird that any person goes into either ideology to that degree of seriousness. But yeah, it absolutely is. They'll pound down pounds of bacon and then be afraid of vegetables. That's weird. That is weird. Because again, if we were to look at some of this stuff realistically and objectively, there are definitely foods that the keto and carnivore crowd push that are objectively unhealthy. Bacon can be high on that list, and have I been guilty of that one? I used to do lower carbs, yeah, because it tastes delicious, but it's not healthy. Cheese is good, but butter is not healthy. Like, we can say that objectively, right? We can say that objectively, just like we can objectively say that all refined sugars are bad, and vegans, like those. It's scary how some of these carnivore people have sky high LDLs in their 50, in the 500. Some cases are acting as if it's no big deal. Yeah, I mean, again, they're completely disagreeing with all the data. Spider, I don't know what's in turkey bacon, so I don't know what to tell you. Is it made through a similar process? Is it got too many nitrates? All that stuff. Emma, I don't answer questions like that. Sorry. This is a fitness page. This is not a financial expertise page. Sorry. Maybe you could go to a channel that specializes in financial advice. Okay, would be my advice. You probably get way better advice than I'll be able to give you. Irrelevant. Hey, Emma, could we please stay on topic? Thank you. All right. I will ask you very politely to do so. Let's stay with fitness stuff, please. See, I'm going to be nice to people from now on. I've seen some of them claim that tea is toxic, while tea can be full of antioxidants. Yeah, I mean, tea can be pretty healthy. Absolutely, it just tastes nasty. You drink a bunch of nasty tasting leaves, I guess. Where have you made the most gains in the past couple of weeks? In my fields. All right. Carnitards are terrified of the sweet potato, which is easy to pound down processed meats. Exactly, and the processed meats are a problem. Okay, Coach, what training advice do you have for recomposition, and is it possible through fat reduction while maintaining muscle? I got tons of videos on that. Yeah, if you want the training side to recomposition, maximize your hypertrophy, right? Maximize your hypertrophy in the gym in terms of your training, and recomposition will become easier. Why? Because if your overall training stimulus is high, your volumes are high, your workloads are high, you're going to get the most stimulation. Therefore, you're going to make the most out of your resources. You're also going to burn through more calories. You're going to burn through more energy, which again, even if you're near maintenance, is going to allow for slightly higher calorie intake, slightly higher anabolic response from your food. without necessarily gaining weight. Do you think it's better to progressively overload by we need to stop. There is no what is better. It's based upon where you are in terms of your training, right? Because when you're talking about adding a 5 pounds to a 5x5, you do that till you stall, then you reset and regress. Okay. That is essentially designed. Those of us who put out programs like that, we made that as an idiot-proof way to keep you close to failure and to keep you progressing. That is why we did it. That's why we have you add the 5 pounds, and when you stall, you reduce it 10% and repeat the process. It makes sure that your training is within 2 reps of failure all the time on your 5x5, all the way through the novice program. And that as long as you follow those instructions, you can't screw it up. So it's not quite idiot proof because some people can't follow instructions, but anyone who can follow basic instructions doesn't have to understand things like rate of perceived exertion or anything. They can know nothing about training and still stay where they want to be in terms of the intensity. That's what it's made for. That's why it's a novice progression. Now, as far as you're talking about a program where you run 4x10, so you're talking about almost really a short linear periodization type approach. That's not going to work for a novice. So what you were looking at there, whether that's done in 3-week blocks or whether that's done in individual ways, what you're describing is called linear periodization. That is for more advanced lifters who are trying to do certain things. I don't generally prescribe linear periodization personally. I wrote a linear periodization program years ago to put up as an example that many people ran, but I don't generally prescribe linear periodization. I often see it the same way Louis Simmons does. It is a great way to get jacked and strong fairly quick. Also has a high risk of injury, and you'll burn out eventually. It also has a long-term high injury rate, once you get 5 or 10 years deep. Jim, do you also have muscles that tend to grow faster? I don't really know how we would quantify that. Fitness movies, documentaries. I'm going to go with pumping iron. How can I optimize my training for peak power output on a specific movement pattern? Heavy singles. Or are we talking about peak strength or peak power, William? Peak power, maybe speed work with bands. You're talking about peak strength, heavy singles, right? Max effort versus dynamic effort, if you were to take it to the conjugate type approach. If I haven't added reps or weight to a lift in weeks or months, should I swap to a variation? No, not necessarily, Spider. Spider, depends on where you are in your training, how advanced you are, what you're doing. It's not that straightforward. So you would say prioritize volume over 100 max is ideal for recomping. Oh, absolutely. Right. And I would say even for maximum strength, we should only do a limited number of heavy singles. Okay. Most of your strength potential is going to come from your hypertrophy work. All right. Strength. Remember a line I said years ago? Do you remember a line I put out? It was strength is forged in the fires of volume. Okay. How do you deal with mental barriers that cause you to fail a rep in exactly the place you're afraid to fail, feeling like it was you're afraid of failing? In that case, you got to take the lift away. If you're having phobias, you have to rotate that lift out for a little bit. Okay. Or your other option there, TKS, is even to take a lift that makes you strong in that weakest point and then train the heck out of it. Get strong at it. Jamila, I don't answer questions like that. All right. Limitless says, Coach, if I'm 20% body fat at 180, how much weight do I need to be to drop down? It's not going to scale that way that you think it will. People will tell you, oh, plug it in a calculator, except you're going to lose some lean tissue with fat loss. You're going to lose some water with fat loss, even if it's not muscle. So people forget that when you look at DEXA scans and other things. If you lose 10 pounds of body weight and lose 0 muscle, you're still going to lose some lean tissue because there is actually lean tissue inside your body fat itself. Through there, there's connective tissue and things. And we know this from DEXA scan data. So realistically, a lot of people might say, well, that's going to be about 16 pounds, but it may be more. Hey, Bigger, I don't know what my retention rate is because I've been running the business so long that, realistically, the retention rate is going to be low because I only have 2 people who were clients 5+ years ago. So people who were clients over 5 years ago, I only have 2 of them. And I have a lot of return clients. So at any given time, I have clients who leave for a year and then come back all the time, leave for 2 years and then come back all the time. So it doesn't work like that. It's not something I can even track in that regard. Do you like rack chins? Why do them? I don't understand the question. Do you have any experience with clients with sugar cravings? Or I don't believe sugar addiction is real, but sugar cravings, absolutely. And there's things that we do to work around that. I do entire consultations on that set now. So I'm doing consultations at $50 right now instead of $100 for the month of December. If you're having problems with your binging and craving, I'll get in a call with you and we'll sort it. Definitely, there shouldn't be any audio issues. My thing is reading loud and clear. My mic is right here. I got my Blue Yeti. My thing is showing a strong mic signal, so it shouldn't be. Check your headphones. Yep. Future, if you binge one day, can you eat very light the next day to help bring down the bloating? Maybe, but I don't recommend that because now you're going to get into a binge and purge habit, which is going to potentially create eating disorders. So do you think the progression on the 5x5 is overall, well, for a novice lifter, yes. So how do I know how much weight I need to lose to get my desired body fat? You don't. You're going to have to just keep working down. Limitless, just follow the process. Coach, do you think Kai Green should have won at least one Mr. Olympia? Do you think they wronged him due to politics involved? I don't know that it was due to politics. Like, what politics do you think were involved? Do you really think that he should have beat Ronnie Coleman? Realistically speaking, I don't think he should have. But I guess it supposed who he was up against at different points. He definitely shouldn't have beat Ronnie. All right. Hey, Bigger, this is my live stream, though. If you're trying to interview me as a coach, we get into a call. So put in an application, and then this is the stuff that we discuss in detail in a call as far as what everyone's looking for. Yeah. So I'll be happy to take your application and your easy $25 fee to weed out trolls while I'm running the Cyber Monday special still. And let's get you in and let's see if it's a good fit. It's very straightforward. Spider, didn't he have relations with a grapefruit? Yes, he did. It was on camera. What body fat are you aiming for, Coach? I'm not going to go into details. I'm going to get very, very lean. Pretty much what I've decided, though. All right. All right. Do you foresee Phil Heath making a comeback? I don't know. Not sure what's going on with Phil Heath even now. I don't like the current open bodybuilding anyways. It's problematic. Ronnie Coleman making a comeback, and that's not going to happen. I want to be like you in a Boulder. I don't know, man. That's the Hulk Hogan said. Eat your Wheaties. I guess drink your protein, take your vitamins, and say your prayers. Right. So, not that I'm pimping supplements. It might sound like I'm pimping supplements there. How about I pimp protein and prayers? Let's do that. Is the last kilos when cutting below 20% body fat drastic, are they slow? It's always going to be slower the leaner you get. And of course, why shouldn't it be? Spider, I'm not interested in making a documentary about me. Hey, Anthony, I told you on the last thing, there's having a minimum strength to run any particular program per se is not always really true. Yeah, Emma, I mean, you should definitely think those things through before you start looking at porn at your work office. When is your podcast? I don't know. I don't know when he's going to make it live. We're going to do it this coming week, though, and I don't know what day he's going to put it up. If someone were to get coaching but only looking for 1 month, would that be okay? Potentially, I do that sometimes, but here's the thing, Limitless. If you do that, I need to know in the interview you're only doing a month, because a lot of times my first month is just getting people started and into a flow. And if I know I'm only going to have 1 or 2 months with someone, I need to give them different tools than I'm going to give a long-term client. Does that make sense? And I've actually do that. I've done that many times, by the way. I've done that over 20 times to where a person told me I can only do 1 month or 2 months, and I know what they can do up front. We get that out of the way during the interview, and then I get them flowing and leave them with the lessons in the final week or two that they need to know to try to move on their own. So that's usually the idea. But yeah, I mean, so if you want to put one in Limitless, even if you want to grab it on this special, even if it's just a month, I can get you flowing for a month. Let's get you up and going, and then kind of cut you loose and let you try to continue on your own. And I'm perfectly fine with that, dude. Perfectly fine with that. Ideally, I would love every client to stay on for 2 or 3 years, but I get plenty who do that. But again, let me be clear. I need to know that going in so that I can give you the best value. Otherwise, you really, if I don't know that, you're going to really waste a month, because I'm going to spend a month assessing you and getting you flowing, rather than, hey, know that I've got a month to cram info in to teach you what you need to know and get you out. It's going to be a different coaching approach. So I need to know that. Is that fair? And then that way that I can operate off that. You have different tiers of coaching. I have different things. I don't charge different amounts, William. I have just set coaching, and it's whatever people need. Some people are just higher or lower maintenance. So I don't charge more to prep people for powerlifting meets than I do to do the general population. So I don't charge them different rates. I don't charge my guys on gear different rates to give them gear advice than my naturals. Right? Very fair and understandable. Yeah, and that's the idea, Jim. There's always going to be a flow. That's something kind of important. I probably need to wind this down, guys. I'm going to hop out of here. That's kind of an important family emergency. That's why it came through. It's one they can get through. All right, cool, guys. I'll do one of these again tomorrow. I have something I need to handle, guys. So take care. Let me hop out of here, and I'll talk to you guys next time.